and welcome to episode 6. My name is Bridget. I am your host of Empowering Women Through Fitness. Thank you so much for watching. This is episode number 6, like I said, so we are on a roll here. We've been doing this for a little bit over a month now. If you're watching live, thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching on the replay, hashtag replay so they know you're watching. And if you find this show inspiring, I would ask that you tag a friend or also share it. We're going to give it just a couple moments while everyone jumps on. So thank you so much for joining us. If you're watching from somewhere other than Texas, drop a comment on where you're watching. And I am so excited for today's guest. I'm about to add her on. Her name is Sanja. There she is. And I'm going to go ahead and add her. And then we'll have a wonderful conversation with her. So I'm so excited that she's here. And we'll give her a second.
Hey.
Hi, girl. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in my car.
That's okay. You ready to have headphones on you?
Yes.
Yes.
That'll
Hold on one second.
No problem. So Sanja's getting her headphones in. I guess I'll be excited.
Yeah, let me sign off and plug my AirPods in.
Okay, that's fine. You can just click a little X. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So she's going to put her earbuds in her headphones so that we don't have that feedback. But anyways, while she's doing that, Sanja, I've been following her for quite a while on Instagram. I was first introduced to her through a podcast that I listened to, Chris Carter's podcast, and her husband was actually interviewed, but her husband raved about his wife, which is Sanja, and I just thought it was really cool how much of a power couple that they were and how supportive and just all the amazing things that they're doing for entrepreneurs, business people. But she's also a mom of 2 beautiful girls. She's super pretty, of course, as you just saw. And so she's also done fitness competitions. And I think, and we'll ask her about this when she comes back, she is competing in Mrs. Texas pageant. So we'll have to ask her about that. Okay, she says she's ready, so we're going to go ahead and add her back. Thanks, guys, for hanging with us. Hello.
Hey.
That's perfect.
There we go.
So much better. Yes, it's always tricky. I don't know what it is with Facebook, but whenever I go live and I add the guest, if they don't have their headphones in, it's all kind of wishy-washy. But
Good to know for next time. Yeah, I'm glad that the hubby had these. Thanks, babe.
Well, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be here and talk to us today. And hello to your sidekick over there as well.
He's about to take the kids in Target so that they're not going to be allowed for this.
Oh, that's awesome. I love how candid this is. That's perfect. Well, we've met just online, so this is fun to kind of meet again online. But I was just telling the viewers that I was introduced to you through your husband, through Chris Harder. So when your husband was on Chris Harder's show, your husband, of course, he always is raving about you, and they're like, I gotta see who this lady is. And then, of course, you're a competitor, so I enjoyed following your journey through that, and of course, ever since. So I wanted to talk to you today because I've always been inspired by you and the work that you guys do through Thrive and through your Mexico projects and all the different things that you have going. So thank you for being here. And so I told Victoria we'll just start out with a few questions, just like icebreaker questions. So the first one is, where did you grow up?
I was born in Serbia in Europe. It was known as Yugoslavia. Some people don't know that. And then I came here when I was 4, and I was raised in California. And I've basically lived the entire time in Rancho Santa Margarita, Orange County. I moved away from there as I got older, and I bought my own condo down by the beach. And when we had children, we ended up right back to where it all started. So it's kind of nice showing all my kids, like, all the fun little spots I went to when I was younger.
That's awesome. I'll have to get out there sometime. It looks beautiful where you guys are. What are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful that today is my daughter's birthday.
It is.
And
Oh
that's
man.
why, well, technically her birthday is leap day. And so
Oh
it's tomorrow, but there's no 29th.
yes.
So we decided today to take her to a pirate show last minute, which is why we're in the car driving up. It's like an hour away. And so I didn't want to move this, so we just decided to come to Target, and so we're
Oh,
like near the show, so as soon as we're done with this, then the kids are
okay.
gonna go to the show, and it's perfect.
That is awesome, and we won't take up too much of your time because that pirate show sounds awesome. One more question: if you could have lunch with anyone, who would it be and why?
If I could have lunch with anyone, it would be Sarah Blakely. She's the creator of Spanx. She is just a ninja mom. She's
Yeah.
created $1 billion business. She is hilarious. She just took all of her girlfriends. I watch her
Yeah.
Instagram story, and she just took all of her girlfriends from childhood to a trip, and she does it every year. She just doesn't tell them where they're going. They get
That's
on a private jet. All of them are like over 40. They're moms, and she just says, okay, we're going snowboarding. Okay, we're going to the Bahamas. We're going to do this. And I just think it's so fun how much she loves other people, how much she gives
awesome.
back. And she's just an incredible mom, everything she
Yeah.
does.
How many kids does she have?
4.
That's awesome. So you
Yeah.
have your 2 kids, and you're a mompreneur, as I've heard the phrase tagged. So, can you tell us a little bit, kind of just for those of you that the viewers that don't know, kind of a little bit about your background and what you guys do with Thrive and how that started?
Yeah. So Thrive started, it was just an idea that Cole had when he was younger, or not when he was younger. He always wanted to do some kind of event. He loves the stage. And I asked him on
Yeah.
our honeymoon, I said, if there's anything that you could do, what would you do if money didn't matter? And he said that he would like to do something like Tony Robbins, where he can
Mm-hmm.
inspire people and just be on a stage teaching. But he didn't
Yeah.
want to just do inspirational. He wanted to do business. He just loves business. And I said, well, why don't you do it? He's like, because it's easier said than done. And so a few years later, he just one day was like, I'm going to do this. I was like, go for it. And so first Thrive happened, and we lost a lot of money.
Oh no.
Like it was like over $200,000 was just
Yeah.
gone. So in that someone who does that chooses to never do it again, right? Because you're like,
Right.
hey, this didn't work. No, Cole was like, we're doing it again. And I'm going to change some things, and we're going to make it better, and we're going to make it happen. So I love that he's just a go-getter. And when
Yeah.
he has a dream, he's going to make it happen. And so it's definitely evolved, and it's turned into something incredible. It's basically now a movement. It's not even just a
Mm-hmm.
conference. It's just
Yeah.
a community. We call them family. It's friends and family put together. So we've just built partnerships through the event. We have, Victoria that you spoke to, she was in the crowd, and now she works for me, and she's basically Auntie Victoria. And
Oh.
Josh was at our event the second year, and now he just stays with us all the time. And he's Uncle Josh just came on our family vacation. So it's just, we've met so many incredible
Yes.
people, and Thrive is just, it's been awesome.
Yeah. So as a wife, and maybe I could only guess that maybe you're sometimes the person that has to be logical or be like, okay, what about our bills or what about this? So when you see something like that happen, how do you, as a wife and as a mom, like how do you support in a role like that, and what is your role in this?
My goal is when Cole has an idea, like I want to do all that I can to make it happen if it's
Yeah.
reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
So he has outlandish ideas, and somehow they always manage to happen too. So that's crazy. But he definitely challenges me, and I just love to fulfill it. It's kind of just something that I've enjoyed. He's always kept me on my toes, and every time he has an idea, it always turns out to be something really fun and impacts others. And so instead of just right away shooting him down, I'm like, babe, let's kind of, let's figure this out. This is
Yeah.
not realistic. And then him and I, like, we could sit down and say, okay, this is too outlandish, but we can do some kind of concept of this. So let's take this out and add this. And so we're a great team because he's a visionary and I execute it.
Yes.
And so it's worked out for us being a
Yes.
married couple working together.
That's awesome. And he's enjoying the show right now. He's commenting in case you can't see that.
Is he?
And I do love the way you guys interact. You guys, like, you do the most amazing things, but yet you guys don't take your lives too serious. You guys are always having fun skateboarding and doing the whole shebang. But let's talk a little bit about you. And you did your fitness competition. You've done speaking. And so I've got to kind of see you do some of these really cool things that are outside of that kind of puts you in the spotlight. So talk about your decision to compete and what that was like.
That was probably one of the scariest things I've ever done.
Yeah.
I chose to do it because I was going to speak at Thrive, and I figured if I can walk on a stage half naked, I could probably do anything. And so doing the fitness competition, it was always on my bucket list. It was always something that I seen other people do, but I figured I'm a mom. I have 2 kids. I don't have time. We have a business. And I just love that I told Cole it was something that I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, go for it. Why wouldn't you do it? So having someone so supportive and loving and not saying, why would you do that? You're going to walk on a stage on a thong, which is very embarrassing. But, like he was so positive about everything that just any ideas that I have. He just wants to support me, and I love that. And so I said, all right, this will be a good stepping stone. If I can go out on a stage, obviously I'm not talking. It's just physically, I'll get my mindset in to doing this competition. I'll feel confident. When you're in shape, you just feel better. And to go out on a stage to do public speaking to over 1,000 people, I wanted to be in shape. So it was just a good stepping stone to get to speaking at Thrive.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how many people I would impact doing that show. It was for me to grow and get out of my comfort zone. And I had all these moms that said, I never thought I could do something like this. And I see you and you did it. And I'm like, your average mom, it's so to see when I see celebrities do something like that, I'm all, okay, I can't do it. But when you see a different mom and they succeed, I got first place. Like it's even sweeter.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a challenge working out every day for as long as I did, having 2 kids and a business. But if you really want something, you'll put your mind to it and you can make the time. It'll happen.
Yeah. And just to add to that, like for those that have followed me for a long time, that's kind of really was the pivotal point in my life. So when I lost my baby and went through that whole phase, I decided to compete. And that was really what kind of changed everything for me. So it really is, the experience really does awaken like this drive in you that makes you almost like, shoot, if I can do that, if I can accomplish that, if I can do all these workouts and eat all these meals and walk on stage, you're like, shoot, I can do anything. And that was really kind of what catapulted me into everything else that I've been doing. So.
And you look amazing. Since we started chatting and I saw your pictures, good job. Like no one understands how difficult it is. Like you can't just look at a girl and you're like, oh wow, she just like works out. No, there is a crazy mindset that you have to have and dedication and willpower to not go eat some mac and cheese and pizza when it's right in front of you. Like it was a lot of hard work. So massive props to you.
And thank you. I appreciate that. So you did your competition and then you did your stage. And I don't know if I got to watch it live, but I do know I watched the whole speech. And I loved it because you talked about overcoming fear. And all of us have fears in different areas of our lives. And I believe you gave just like a few practical tips on kind of what you did to overcome fear. Do you remember that speech?
I do, actually. And it's crazy how many people, once again, like I said, when I did it, it was more for me to grow. And when I was teaching people just certain things that I did to get through that competition and to be able to speak on that stage, people have taken my speech and conquered some of their fears. So I just think it's really neat that, it was just simple things like you realize what you're afraid of. And I mean, it's a very long speech, so there's so many different things that you have to do, but just like breathing in and out would help me release just, you give yourself some positive affirmations and you just say, I am confident. And you just like breathe it in and you just release all the negative stuff. And it just sounds so funny to me
Yeah.
when I was told to do this. I was like, nah, I'm not into that. Like, I need actual steps. Breathing is not going to do it.
Right.
But when you see what it does to your brain,
Mm.
it's remarkable. So it really does help just breathing in and out if you're
Yeah.
stressed, if you're freaking out. And so that was huge. And I just, I visualized myself winning. I visualized myself more confident. I even photoshopped pictures of me on a stage winning and put them around the house. And
That's
it
amazing.
just,
Yeah.
my brain felt that I was already on that stage. It wasn't as scary because I'd seen myself throughout the house by my mirror. It was just
Mm-hmm.
normal. So
Yeah.
I think visualization is huge if people want to overcome their fears. Like, right now I have something that I'm about to go do, and so I'm going to go Photoshop some more pictures and stick them
Mm-hmm.
around the house, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully I won't be so scared when the day comes for my next challenge.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, and I saw something on Instagram today. Can we talk about that or no?
Yeah.
Okay. And I actually, I don't know if it's the same organization, but I did one of the same things. So we're kind of on the same track here.
You did?
Yes, in Texas.
Girl, I need some help and some
Okay.
pointers. I didn't realize how much goes into it, and it's like around the corner. So I need to
So
get
when is
some.
it?
April 6th.
Okay, yeah, okay, we can talk. So Miss Sanja over here has been recruited for Mrs. Texas, or me, I'm sorry, Mrs. California, which has to be a totally different league from Texas. Texas, you can show up in a cowboy hat and you'll be just fine. So tell us the story. How did it happen?
So just when I was really young, I was like 8 or 9, I did a beauty pageant, and I was terrified when I got on the stage. They asked me a question and I just blanked out. And I think that I've carried that through my entire life. Just, I had all eyes on me at that moment and I wasn't prepared. And I just panicked and I walked off crying. And so anytime I've had that moment of being in front of people, I've always been scared. And that's why I chose to do the bikini competition. I chose to speak at Thrive, and putting myself in these different places. I just want to grow, and I want
Yeah,
my babies to see that, hey, mommy was scared of this, but she went out and conquered her fears. So if mommy can do it, I can do it. Like, I
yeah,
don't want to just tell my girls things. I want to show them and
yeah,
they'll see it. And so that's always kind of been in my mind, that moment in my life. So I figure I'm going to go attempt to do another beauty pageant right now, and hopefully the same thing doesn't happen, because that
yeah.
would
No, I
just
don't
be
think it
awful.
will.
Yeah. So, and I'm like, you know what, even if for some crazy reason I do black out and I can't answer a question and I just stutter, I'm just happy that I chose to go do this.
Yeah.
And me just standing on the stage, I feel, is a win for me.
Yeah, you're rewriting your story. You're not letting like the past dictate where you go from now.
Yeah, I mean,
And
it
that's
took 30 years, but whatever.
better late than never, as we say in
Exactly.
Mexico. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, that'll be a really cool experience, and it's a little bit different from the fitness competitions because it's a little bit. It's not so much based around just your image, but it's like who you are. I hope Cole's prepared to travel California with all of your engagements and all the appearances you're going to have to do.
I
But
love
that's
how you've already said that I've won. You're
yeah,
like, oh, you be prepared. It's like,
yeah. Cole's gonna have to like walk around carrying your crown and your sash and just whatever you need to do.
Oh, he'll love it. He'll
Yeah.
love
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah. He'll suck that up. He gets to be Mr. California too. So tell him to pack his
Oh, I'm
suits.
gonna I'll get him a little sash.
He'll eat that up. That's awesome. So that's just right around the corner. When is your next Thrive?
May 31st to
Oh
June
wow.
2nd. It will be in Las Vegas. So it's kind of, there's a lot going on right now. We
Yeah.
have my daughter's birthday, then we have Cole's birthday, we have our mastermind weekend for our Thrivers,
Yeah.
and then we have Thrive. I was just like, man, this, and my pageant. It's just like boom, 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 boom. But
Yeah. That makes life fun though.
it does.
Yeah. Real quickly, and then I'll let you guys get off to the Pirates. But will you tell us a little bit about your mission work in Mexico? And is that just through Thrive, or if somebody wanted to help out with that, how does that work?
So Mexico is near and dear to our hearts. That's where when Cole and I broke up, he moved down there and he lived in Mexico for 7 months, and he was with these orphans, and he just fell in love with them, and he
Mhm.
realized how far his money could go just helping out, just buying a few, like just like, $10 could buy quite a bit of meals down there. And
Yeah.
so it was really sweet when I went to go visit him and he took me there, and all the kids just jumped on him and loved him. And then all of a sudden they were jumping on me and loving me. And that's all they want. They just want
Yeah.
someone to hold them and hug them and love them. So both he and I just got so attached to them. And so we've just kind of made it our purpose to always go down there and make sure that, they have food, they have water, they have shelter, and we just go love on them. So we even take some of our attendees, and we just went with like 30 of them, and the kids just played with them, and we had this like we just brought them all these groceries, and it was just so fulfilling for everyone.
Yeah.
And it's called Genesis. That's the orphanage, and it's not a write-off for people. They can't like just donate to them. We usually take the money down there, so people could, Venmo me or PayPal or write a check, and then so we give it to them. But if people do want a tax write-off, or if they do want to donate to something in America, I always talk about Claire, is one of my good friends, and she passed away from CF, cystic fibrosis. And so Claire's Place Foundation is where I like to send people
Mhm.
also.
Yeah. And I followed that journey too, and that was, well, Claire was the name of my daughter that passed away too, so I was kind of
Oh,
paying attention to that story. That was pretty touching, and I see butterflies now, and I think of you guys.
I love that.
Yeah, that's
I'm
cool.
sorry for your loss too.
Yeah, it was a little while ago, but it definitely changed going forward, and you find ways to turn it around and use it for good. But okay, so for those that want to follow Sanja's journey, I put all of your links in there so they can
Thank
watch
you.
you take over California, um, or learn more about Thrive. I know I have a lot of entrepreneurs that follow me and that are in my circle, so Thrive is on my bucket list. Um, so I definitely want to come out there and
You're
see you
coming,
guys.
right?
Huh?
You're coming, right?
I need to get it on my schedule. What is the date?
May 31st to June 2nd. You are
Okay.
coming. You are coming as my guest. We have to like officially meet.
We do have to meet in person. Okay, I'll make it happen. Um, I'm gonna let you go. Well, one closing question, because your energy is so good and so positive, and that's one of the things that I was
Hmm.
drawn to and love about you. Um, what would you say to another woman who's maybe struggling to either find her purpose or, Cole says he'll send me some tickets. He's so sweet. What would you say to a woman who wants to be more empowered and to maybe wants to overcome some of those fears like you've been able to overcome?
It's so funny. I was talking to Cole and his mom actually about that. And there's something that I don't know what it is. When I'm reading something and I want to feel more empowered, it doesn't necessarily hit home for me. I don't know why, but when I have someone else say it to me that actually believes in me and
Mm-hmm.
supports me, it means so much more. So, for example, Cole or like his mom, I remember his mom years ago when she just told me how I have this gift of listening and for people just being attracted to my energy and just like
Yeah.
who I am. And I just never considered that a gift. I thought you have to like play music or be a speaker or, just be something so extravagant. And I didn't realize that just being a good listener could be a gift where,
Mm-hmm.
now I've helped so many women and men. And I just think that's so extraordinary. I didn't think that I had that, but she pointed it out.
Yeah.
So I think if somebody ever was down, find someone that loves and supports you and just say, like, and it sounds so weird, but to say, like, what do you think of me? And
Mm-hmm.
like, what are some good things that you think, my traits, my character, my anything, and just hearing it come from another person
Yeah.
that you value their opinion, it
Mm-hmm.
means the world. And so
Yeah.
it sounds so strange to just walk up to someone and you're like, hey, what do you think of me? But I think that'll empower someone because it points out certain things that you've never
Yeah.
noticed about yourself.
Yeah, and even to recognize those as a gift, or that's something special about you. Just as simple as having a positive energy, smiling, and being a positive person, and listening. Those are all gifts. And I know as moms, sometimes we get stuck in this rut where we're like, well, I'm just a mom, and I don't do anything special, or I'm not anything extravagant. But yeah, there's there's callings in each of those things, and just
A mom is the greatest
yes,
important job ever. And like, I just wish that more moms that I know that are stay-at-home moms didn't say, I'm just a stay-at-home mom. It's like
yeah,
that is actually harder than having a business. Like you
yeah,
are molding humans. You are trying to, you know, ask me or find a mom that like actually does things for herself. You know, they're always like, "Oh no, I can't do that because I need to go help my kid," or "I'm not gonna go get my nails done because I need to do this for my kid," or it's always just being so selfless. And I just want moms to acknowledge that that is the greatest job, and you like it's just yeah, I think
that
it's
is a
great.
perfect place to wrap it up, because I so agree with you, and I know I have a lot of moms that watch and follow me and follow you, so that's great, and I appreciate that so much, because you are a stay-at-home mom, but you got so many things on your plate, and you handle it with grace, and I just love to see the support that you and Cole have for each other, and
Thank you.
you guys are unstoppable as long as you have that, and so I'm excited to continue watching, and have an amazing night at the Pirates. Please
Thank
post
you.
on Instagram, because now I'm so curious.
I
And
will. It's a great show.
yeah, for sure, reach out to me if you have pageant questions. I can help you or point you out to
Oh
some of
my
the
gosh,
people that
I'm
help you
like
too.
gonna call you tomorrow.
Okay, that's perfect. Not a problem. All right, you can go ahead and hit X, and I'll wrap it up on my end. Thank you again. I appreciate it.
Perfect.
We'll be
Thanks
in
so
touch.
much. Bye.
You're welcome. Guys, thank you. I want to thank her so much for being here. That was really fun to talk to her. Sometimes it's cool to connect with people that you just meet on Instagram or Facebook, and then actually get to have a conversation with her. So she's awesome. I love her. And if you're a mom and you watch this, feel free to follow her, because she posts so many fun things that she does with her kids, and just real life. She's not one of those Instagram people that she's just, has this fake perfect life. She's a real mom that is very inspiring to me, and I know to many others. And if you want any more information on her, I do encourage you to follow her and her husband. Um, Next week, I know I said this last week, but I got my dates mixed up. We are talking to Nina. It'll be a little bit more of a heavy show. We're going to talk about some of the sexual abuse that she went through as a young child, all through high school, and some kind of bigger topics like that. So be here next week, 7 p.m. right here on Facebook Live. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.